Julian, how you doing, buddy? What's happening? Welcome back.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Julian, who's the biggest cheater in baseball? Don't answer that question.
In baseball?
Don't answer that question.
I would say, I don't know what you were talking about before I hopped on.
It's out of context for you, so I won't put you on the spot. Tell me the emotion. Because we know where this team is. We know that, some of these wins have been great, come from behind. You make big plays in critical moments when it matters. And then Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions come in, and, after the Daniel Jones' interception, his touchdowns just start falling, and one after halftime. It felt rough from a fan point of view. But from your point of view as a player and as a team, what was the emotion? Was it disappointment? Was it we got to get better? Like, what did you guys feel after this game against the Lions?
Yeah, I think the message and how we felt really was we can't afford to dwell on it any longer. And so, it was really after the game, it was a quick, just kind of address it, whatever. Then we got to move on because we have a big game against Dallas. But, for the game, I think just our energy was just, low, and we didn't execute on the things that we've done the previous however many games.
Yeah, why do you think that was? Was it because so many people wanted to say, oh, it's a trap game for the Giants. It's like, shut up with the trap game stuff. Like, you play the games that are happening in front of you. But it is a quick turnaround. I mean, you have to put it behind you, even if you had won, because of what's happened. You guys travel tomorrow, which is crazy. So, why do you think the energy was low?
I think I'm not sure. I feel like we early on just didn't. The Giant Lions came out. We knew they were going to come out tough and all that stuff. But just talking about the fundamentals of how we've constructed games is we've held onto the ball, and so those turnovers are kind of that we haven't been having those really, and so it deflated us a little bit. And then the situational football that I've always been talking about, we've been playing well at. We didn't execute as cleanly as we have been, and it's easy. I feel like when you're having success at anything, to be like, oh, this is expected. This is how it is day in, day out. But sometimes you get a reality check and realize that you have to be intentional about how you go about things, and I think that's what this game was for us.
So we're talking to Julian Love of the Giants, and as Tiki just alluded to, quick turnaround. You guys obviously flying out to Dallas Thursday, Thanksgiving. The entire country is going to watch, and not only will they watch a great rivalry and an important game in terms of the standings, but they're also going to watch a very beat-up Giants team. I mean, that's about as rough as it gets. It's obviously always been a sport of attrition, but the injuries are now impacting what you guys are trying to do. Can you speak to that a little bit, Julian? That was a rough one. Yeah,
that was tough. That was extremely tough to be a part of. See so many of your guys go down, and it's we can't let it demoralize us. We can't let some of these guys who have been playing so good for us. We can't let that be the end all be all. And so now it's a heck of an opportunity for young guys to really establish themselves. I kind of had a similar beginning to my career. When somebody went down, I had a chance, and I took advantage of it. And so that's all you can hope for young guys. And so this week has been, short, but we've been getting after it because these guys that have to fill in for these roles need to execute. That's the story of the league.
It's the NFL, and you were ready for that. Do you listen? I know they're teammates, so I'm sure you're going to say the right thing. But do you really have confidence that the players who are next man up are ready to jump into this type of a game?
I have confidence in. It's like you said, it's a Thanksgiving game. There's going to be a little more of an atmosphere in Dallas. Some of the people are watching. As long as the people who are playing keep it, keep the game, we'll be fine. As long as you just line up and execute the way you have been your whole entire life, we'll be fine. And so that's kind of the mindset I have. I'm also an optimist, as you guys probably have realized. And so, but I really have been. We've been getting as much as we can in this week while saving our bodies to make sure guys are ready to go. And all it is just executing, play football like we've played all year. So
we're talking to Julian Love. Julian, any difference, not even implying that possibly bad, or just any difference in Daboll, who seems to be this, after the wins, he was like, hey, listen, we're good and one at a time, and we got to get better. Any sense of a change in demeanor from the coach, who is still a rookie head coach, as you guys come off a tough one against Detroit? Did he seem different?
Yes, I'm going to be honest. he didn't seem different at all. We went to the locker room. We knew what the game was. Yeah, we just lost. we got our butts whooped and all that stuff. But he was just consistent and said, okay, the things like that he harps on each week, what we executed on, what we didn't execute on, and then everybody shake it off because we have a road battle against Dallas. And so yeah, I think as a rookie head coach, that's the battle. That's kind of what gets guys looking at you, and that's how you secure a locker room. Is how are you in adversity? And yeah, he was cool and composed, and we've seen him fired up. But in this moment when I felt like he needed to be cool and composed, he was. Yeah,
you talk about Dallas, and there's a plethora of weapons over there. CeeDee Lamb is one, and obviously we know the quarterback. But Tony Pollard's turned into such a dynamic player in so many different ways. How do you all attack this Cowboys offensively?
Yeah, I think really it's about people winning matchups this game. And yeah, it's tough when you have, they have a lot of, studs and all that stuff. But yeah, we know who CD is. We've been playing him for years. We know Tony Pollard's a guy who's really dynamic. Obviously Ezekiel Elliott, but Tony Pollard has really stepped up and been that guy for them, Dak. And their O-line's their O-line in terms of, our defense. And, when you have studs like that, you really have to play really fundamental ball. Like when it's time to strike somebody, you got to strike them, and that's something we've built off of the Detroit game. I felt like we weren't as aggressive as we usually are, and so expect that to come back this game.
Did you feel like the locker room? And I know it's tough to speak for so many guys, but in totality, there was more surprise at the performance or anger at the performance?
It was frustration. It wasn't. I definitely wasn't surprised because we're all accountable to each other. We knew what we were putting on that field, and guys who need to make plays just weren't making the plays in the right situation. So there's a little bit of frustration just off of yourself, but it's not. It's bad in the locker room, and I've been around it when the finger pointing starts.
Yeah.
But there was none of that, and so it's all about encouragement. Wink was super composed at halftime. Said, all right, we got a lot of we got ball in front of us. After the game, he was composed this whole week. I mean, that's the change. That's the difference in this team that I think will carry us forward.
You used the word accountable or accountability, and it's interesting because we've spent most of the show, and I know you're a Giant, but I'm sure these guys don't read newspapers. They see it on the phone. The story with Zach Wilson, and after the game the other day, he basically took a pass, or at least got a little separation from what he didn't do well. Listen, the defense has been lights out, and the offense has been scuffling a bit. Not that it's your world, but that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. Would you be how would you feel as a defensive player? And I know that Daniel Jones is not this way. He's the opposite, actually. But if Jones was up there and he's like, yeah, man, ain't my fault. I ain't doing anything wrong. And like the offense really was the reason why you didn't win. How would that go over in the locker room?
Yeah, that wouldn't go over the best. That's just I'll attribute to him being a young player. I saw the comment, very weird. I'll direct it to this. Eli Manning, when he was here, and say we had a bad game, not necessarily himself having a bad game, but the team had a bad game. After the game, he would stand up and wait. Even if he was ready, he wouldn't leave the locker room. He'd wait till the reporters got in there to address him. And after each win, he would get out of the locker room and let the other guys get the praise. And that's just, I think, what leaders do. And I think it's something that the guy over there has to learn.
That's good stuff. 20 seconds, because I think everybody, the fans, so many fans look at you guys as robots and almost non-human on some level. But it is Thanksgiving. You guys are playing on Thanksgiving. So we know you have a beautiful family. We've talked about them a little bit on the show here, your wife and kids. Do you do something on Tuesday and have turkey? Do you do when you get back late Thursday? Do you punt it to Friday? When are you guys sitting down and eating and breaking bread as a family?
Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, we play on Thanksgiving. My wife is home back in Chicago with her family. I told her, just go back, just enjoy a good meal and watch the game. And then, we get back Friday. Then a few of us, my wife and a few of the players and their significant others are getting together and having a meal together, Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, that's nice.
Somebody's spouse is
cooking.
A chef.
Nice.
And so
that's nice.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about playing on the weekend. It's nice to have an actual weekend, even though it sucks to play on a Thursday after a short week, especially after a loss.
You get it on the back end, which is, obviously the nice part.
Yeah, but Julian, you're motivated because this is a division game against the hated Dallas Cowboys. Good luck to you, man. Travel safely, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Hey, appreciate it, fellas. Tell those baseball players, stop cheating, man.
I love it.
Listen, there's been a lot of NFL players that were taking steroids over the years, Mr. Love. Don't make us educate you there, young man.
My bad.
Not in his era, though.
Tom Brady, too. He's always cheating. So is Belichick.
Happy Thanksgiving, Julian.
See you later, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
There you go.